20 years after publication of the original Goosebumps series, we finally got a movie adaptation in October 2015 here. I'm JBM for Mr. Creepshow 9, and I'm going to get right into it. Now, there's no point in really going over the nostalgia of Goosebumps. Everyone has their own tale, assuming that the book sold over 300 million copies. It's touched pretty much everyone under 40 years old knows about it. R.L. Stine, one of my favorite writers, he really got me into reading back, and a lot of other kids. He made reading cool again. And the lurid Goosebumps covers, they were just a smashing success. And the funny thing about the guy, or the good thing about the guy, is he mixed humor with horror, and he was really good at both. The contrast of that, it really goes well. So, let's talk about the film now. Now, the original Goosebumps and most of the stories were based on kids, like 10, 11, 12-year-olds. And he saved the teenagers for his Fear Street series. But for the movie, they decided to do teenagers over kids, which is understandable. It made it more enjoyable for the adult audience, considering most of the Goosebumps fans, even though he still writes Goosebumps to this day, spin-off series, the original run ended in the late 90s. He's a true writer. I'll get to more of R.L. Stine. Like I said, so they chose teens over kids, and it's almost like an adventure comedy. It's really fun. There's a lot of action going on here. It's still kind of PG, no blood, and so this kid moves to this new town. He just so happens to move right next to R.L. Stine, played by Jack Black. Now, Jack Black, his stardom has really faded in years. You don't really see him it's really plummeted. You don't really see him get that many roles, but he's a funny guy. I loved him in Orange County and a lot of other films. This isn't but as for his R.L. Stine interpretation, it's nothing like the real R.L. Stine, and that's not what they were going for. The only thing that it really has to do with R.L. Stine is his glasses and like the dressed in black garb. Other than that, they make this R.L. Stine irascible and sardonic, but it's really funny, actually. And they make his wife absent. I mean, his real life in real life must be real pissed. And that's his daughter in there, played by Odeya Rush, who just looks like a teenage Mila Kunis. And anyway, so this kid moves to this new town, and he just so happens to be the neighbor of R.L. Stine. And he's hitting on his daughter, and he thinks that she's in danger, so he goes into the house. Him and his friend, they unwittingly open up the original manuscripts, unleashing, and it's like a massive monster rally. You could have gone with so many they had a plethora of monsters to choose from the Goosebumps series. And the TV show, this is probably another reason why they never made a movie. The TV show was so successful. Some of them are really good, some of them are really bad. They're all hit and miss, really. But some of them really get dark and chilling, even for a kid's genre, you know? So the ones featured, let's get this out of the way, primarily in the film, is the abominable snowman from Pasadena. I think I got a picture of him here I could show you. Most of them, as in like 98% of them, are all CGI. And there's the praying mantis, the ginormous sized one, the werewolf of Fever Swamp, and Slappy was the main featured villain. He's the straw that stirred all the drink, which makes a lot of sense, actually. I'm glad that they went this route. Instead of adapting a single R.L. Stine story, they chose this route of unleashing all his monsters, and so it plays like an adventure comedy, like I said. And they can't kill him at all, because they were trapped in the manuscript. They need to put them back on the manuscript. But these monsters, they ain't gonna go easily, you know? So then they come up with the bright idea they're like, hey, just write a new book. You write like 1,000 words a day anyway, R.L. Stine. So, write a new one. And they make a lot of R.L. Stine jokes and how he's not as popular as Stephen King. There's a lot of good jokes in here. So he's writing the book, and they're encountering all these monsters throughout. It's pretty funny. It's pretty witty script, like I said. Not to get too much into it. One fault I'd say it had, and they obviously didn't have the rights to it, you would assume, is the original Goosebumps theme from the TV show was not played at all. It would have been sweet to see that at the credits, but we did not. $58 million budget. And like I said, R.L. Stine, I love the guy. It was really surreal because I always live within his world. I'm always reading his words. 5 out of 7 days a week, I'm reading an R.L. Stine book. Not a Goosebumps book, because after you get past the 5th grade, those are like intolerable. And you want to know why? Because they chose little kids. And what do little kids do? They bicker and gripe about the stupidest little things. And that's pretty much every Goosebumps book. So, if I would recommend any R.L. Stine, I would recommend Superstitious, his adult horror novel from 1995. I would recommend his Fear Street series, which he made. Quantities of those books are available. You can get lots of them on eBay. So, overall, I give it a B. Let me see if I missed anything. Slappy was hilarious. And Jack Black did the voice of Slappy. Jack Black did a good job. Like I said, nothing like the real R.L. Stine. But I get it. It was humor. It was supposed to be that way. And that's what they were going for. And they pretty much nailed it in that perspective. So, B overall. Thanks for watching. Tune in to my top 100 horror movie villain countdown. Coming out, the top 10 will be released on Halloween at 5 o'clock Saturday. I'm out. Thanks for watching.